everyone. Thanks for joining me. Happy Wednesday. So tonight we are continuing on the embroidery of the month. We finished our little vintage sew pattern, this Kenmore sewing machine last night, and we have the Singer one. So this one's a bit more curvy. This is kind of more your traditional vintage sewing machine. We are going to start stitching this tonight. I think we'll get pretty far along with it tonight too. I'm hoping to finish it tomorrow, and then we'll finish the whole project up on Friday. So thanks for joining me here. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. All right, so I'm here for about an hour, and we will be stitching this little Singer sewing machine. So thanks again, guys, for joining me. Let's get going here. All right, hello, hello. Oh yes, Lisa, agreed. Nice. All right, so last night we finished up this feller. So he's not quite done. We still have to take the stick and stitch off, our little stabilizer. We'll do that on Friday. And then we'll also press it. So that'll be on Friday. So we are going to start this feller tonight. So similar but different. This one's definitely more curvy than this guy. This one's much more angular. Got some different planes going on there. It's not this round, nice, smooth machine. So we're going to work on this one. This one's kind of modeled after my husband's great-grandmother's sewing machine that we actually have here, which is awesome. This is my digital pattern for it. So this is the PDF pattern. If you order the PDF pattern or the bundle that comes with all the supplies, it will come with the PDF pattern for the instructions. So I have it open to, this is the third page out of 6 pages, and that's where I can see, you know, what color goes where, what stitches go where. So I'm going to have this open near me. But I wanted to show you guys, we on a whim today, we put together 2 new pocket skein embroidery floss collections. So the just all the colors that the women were wearing at the inauguration today were so beautiful. They were all these jewel tone colors. So we put together a jewel tone embroidery floss like collection. We just thought it was just so beautiful. So here is our jewel tones embroidery collection that we just curated, and also we did the color of the year too. This is the Pantone color of the year for 2021. It's the grays and the yellow. We put a little white in there too. So 2 new collections that we came out with today. This just looks so pretty. Check your email. I did send an email about it today, and you can see with the little picture of just the people wearing the, you know, gorgeous coats and stuff, that it really does look like this. It was just kind of fun. So we put that together today after seeing some of those. So, all right, I am going to get down here a little bit more, and we will get started here tonight. We're going to start with this fella here. First off, I need to use this hoop, so I'm going to take this out of the machine. Oh, I do not, Lisa, I don't sell these little cloud needle minders, but isn't he cute? I got it off of Etsy. I don't remember the seller for it. I am hoping to have some needle minders soon, but this is a great size. I love how small this one is. It works great for like a small little piece. I think we were talking about this today at the office, me and Jenna. Ooh, geez, flung my needle. But I think we'd like to do, because we're going to be doing some needle minders at some point next year, and we'd like to, after like using this one, I think we want to make some really small ones like this and have like some bigger ones. But like the small ones are so nice for like an itty bitty project like this. All right, let's take this out. All right, there we are. Really turned out nice. So let's first prep our next piece of fabric. There's not really any prep to do. I just thought I'd give it a little press before we get cracking here. There we go. Oh, that's cool, Gretchen. Yeah, I didn't get to see really any of the. I mean, I was at the office all day, so I didn't get to see anything live. I did watch Biden's speech when I got home, the whole speech. So that was great. Um, yeah, I might. I'm hoping to watch a little bit more. I've just been kind of catching people's posts on social media and stuff for like the clothing and the speakers and all that. But I definitely want to dig into like replays of live streams um, tomorrow while I'm working at the computer. All right, so that was the stick and stitch stabilizer. We just took off the paper backing, and this is that sticker basically that we're going to be stitching through. So it's stuck on here, but it's removable. It's easily like if I needed to replace it again, I can just easily pull it off and put it in the next spot there. Yeah, and then it'll come off with water later. So see, this one we stitched right through, and you know it's right here. I can still kind of pull on it, but we'll be dipping this in water. You can actually just let it run over the sink a little bit with warm water, and that will just come off. All right, let's get this in the hoop. Basically ready to go here. All right. Look up the Amanda Gorman poet. Yeah, I have to look her up for sure. I want to watch all that stuff, so I want to hear all the speeches and this, Lady Gaga and the Amanda Gorman. I want to see all of it. So I didn't see anything really yet except for Biden's speech. So I do want to check out more and like the beginning stuff with people walking in. Like I want to see all of it. I'm kind of bummed actually that it wasn't happening tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm here and I would have just sat and worked on the laptop in front of the TV and watched it all day. I'm actually going to scooch this over. It's a little too close to the hoop there. I think that's going to annoy me, so I'm going to loosen this up again and just move it. That's a little bit better. Get on there. All right, just about ready. I think this design is a little bit wider than the first design, so that might be why I'm having a little trouble. I had to move it over a little bit. Because this machine is actually, I think, a hair wider. Yeah, I know not everyone feels the same, but my chest is feeling just a hair lighter. We'll see how everything goes. But yeah, I'm gonna watch what I can tomorrow. All right, we're good. Let's throw on our cute little feller, our little cloud. We'll put him up top here, maybe. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put him down here, because I think we'll probably stitch. Let's kind of do the same process as we did with the other one. I think I'm going to start with the black outline first. That seems to have worked just fine. So I think we'll start there. Let's grab the needle. Well, I got some black thread yet. So this is we have a few strands left from when we pulled it from the first one. So this is actually twice as long as I normally would use it, but I'm folding it in half. So after it's folded in half, I got, I don't know, about 24 inches or so. That's kind of where I like to keep it. So I'm using that loop method where I take one strand. Let's just release that one strand. And then I double it up, because I'm ultimately going to stitch with two strands. So by doubling the one strand, I get the two. And we're going to thread the side with the two ends, and we have a loop, or not really a loop, but like the fold is on the other end. So that's what is important. We want this loop on this side. So that's why we need like an even amount of thread for this. All right, let's map out our path a little bit here. We got a little bit of black bits in here. You know, we could almost start like this little line is black, and then this is black, and this is black, and then we just kind of go around the piece is kind of what it looks like. So, I don't know, that's as good a path as any, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to start right here. I think we'll do that in one stitch. All right, so I'm going to go right there. And again, I do have my pattern open right here. So I'm kind of looking at, okay, there's black there, a little bit of black there. We'll go around and we can come straight down. And by about here, I'm guessing we'll have run out of floss, and then we'll have to do all this with the next piece. But I thought, yeah, getting rid of some of this stuff at the get-go would be good. I do like kind of mapping it out beforehand with the kind of ultimate goal that I'm using the least amount of floss and I'm jumping around the least amount. All right, I have that little loop. I'm going to go through that loop with my needle. Ooh, I'm caught on the edge here. And then pull it tight, and that's really what's securing my floss. I don't have a knot. I don't have to weave in the ends. It's just stuck in that little loop there. All right. Oh, I found out that we talked to my parents just now, and my dad got his first COVID vaccine. So that's good. I think mid-February he gets his next. All right, since this is a curve, it's about the same distance as that other stitch, but since it's a curve, I'm going to do a couple stitches, the 2 stitches, just to kind of get that kind of arch in. I think we're going to jump over here. So I'm trying to remember. I'm going to have to look. We have this machine, but I don't use it as often. It's kind of just upstairs in the hallway. I really should get it out and have it be more usable. It is actually usable. It's plugged in and everything. I just, the hallway is just kind of a place where stuff lives now, and it really could be a place where I could just sit down and sew a few lines of stitches. But anyway, I can't remember if this... I don't think this has a motor pulley. I think this has a belt. So this functions differently than my Kenmore machine. This one actually has a motor and then a small belt going from the motor to this wheel. It's not like the wheel directly on the other wheel, which is like the motor pulley. Nope, Mom did not get hers yet. So hers will be in a couple weeks. All right, so I'm just cruising along the outline here with a back stitch, nice and easy. Since it doesn't seem like there's quite as much detail on the inside of this one, I do think that this one's going to go a little fast. Although the text at the bottom can take some time. Oh, we were talking about maybe putting the dates on these too. Maybe we'll do that on Friday, like right before we take the stick and stitch off. We could add the dates on these. I mean, feel free to modify these however you want. Like you could enlarge it on the printer if you want, or maybe you want to write. I just put like some little hearts here. You could write Singer on there, or White, or whatever, or Franklin, whatever style your machine is. You can do whatever you want, really. So. Play around, make it look like your machine if you want. Sylvia, I'm not sure what you're you're asking about, let me know. Oh, why are the yeah, I'm not sure. Ooh, Adrian's getting her second shot tomorrow. Nice, healthcare essential worker. That's lovely. Yeah, this is going quick. I was actually surprised that we got yesterday's embroidery, the Kenmore sewing machine. I'm surprised we got that done in just 2 sittings. So that's perfect. Like, this is just the right size embroidery, I think. If you want a quick win and just like feeling that you got something accomplished and everything still, I don't know, a little embroidery like this is totally the way to go. I actually like peppering. I mean, this is kind of why we have this one of the weeks, why we work on this during the month on one of the weeks. It's because we're working on a lot of large projects, right? And sometimes you just need some sort of little win, and these embroidery projects just do that, especially these little ones. Oh, Kimberly's asking how I like the background in terms of how I came to have this business. Well, I always wanted to have like an art related business. I went to, not necessarily art related, but like visual. Let's call it a visual one. I went to, like, I got a degree in graphic design. And so then I did like design for a while, some web stuff a little bit, and I ended up working at a greeting card company in town here, and then I got to start doing more illustration, which I really, really love. I did some of that in college, but it was mostly design out of college. But doing the greeting cards again got me able to draw more again, which was fun. And I wanted to kind of do my own thing. I was making stuffed animals and selling them on Etsy, and they were doing okay on Etsy for a while. This is like at the early baby years of Etsy. But I wasn't drawing as much anymore, so I was kind of bummed about that. So I wanted to still do something craft and hand related, because I really, I've always done crafts. I love them so much. I just want to keep learning more and more and more about every single craft. I just find it fascinating. You're putting something out there in the world. You're like marking your creativity with like a real physical item. I just love everything related to crafts. So I knew I wanted it craft related, but I wanted to draw more. And embroidery just kind of seemed like the perfect match of those two things. So that's why I specifically got into embroidery, is because I could draw and make, a cute craft physical item at the same time. And so that's basically the start of it. The first kind of real thing I did was those ABC patterns, really. I needed a project. So, like people do like those 100 days of drawing flowers or something. I set out to draw a letter or an animal for every letter of the alphabet. So that's was kind of all my first embroidery patterns were those. And then I made some into kits and made them into like iron-on patterns, and then got them printed and everything, and was able to go to some trade shows and stuff like that. Alright, so I think this is my last stitch here. Ugh, I maybe should have stopped one earlier, but too late now. I'm going to stitch this and weave in the ends here. Fuzzle. Oops, let's grab a little bit more floss here. Okay, let's find my scissors. Here we are. And all right, I have one more strand. Oops, let's grab my needle. One more strand of black from that original piece of 6 strands that I cut. So I think looking at this, I'm thinking I might need a little bit more than what this is going to give me, because there's quite a bit of black to stitch here. Like I got to stitch, 2 lines back and forth here. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need another piece, so that's kind of a bummer. That's a loss of thread chicken, I think. But we use black for so much stuff. So we'll use the other strands. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to start with that little loop again. And now I'm thinking, so I'm planning my path again. I'm thinking this is going to be kind of fun. I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to go around this bottom piece, and then I'm going to jump to this line and then start doing this line. So that I ended up at a really good place here, which is about exactly where I said I thought we'd end up. So see, I'm getting good at kind of knowing where my thread's going to end. So that's kind of fun. All right, I'm going to grab that loop. It's almost like we're making like a single chain stitch almost. All right, and now let's go around this bottom path here. Oh, I'll have to ask. I guess we didn't really get into it. Can I see the close-up of the stitch? Oh, sure. So, Linda, we are doing a back stitch right here. So, yeah, I guess I didn't really dig into it much. So, how you do a back stitch is... Okay, so pretend we don't have any stitches here yet, and this is the start. You actually... Okay, so this is the start, and I'm going this direction, right? So you don't start right at the starting point. You actually start like a stitch length away, so about 1/8 of an inch, between 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to come up there, and instead of going forward, like the ultimate path you want to take, you're actually going to go backwards a stitch. And then, I'm going this way, so my next stitch is going to be a stitch length away from the one that I just did. It's a little hard because I'm stitching black on a black line. But I'm going to go backwards again, right to the spot that I started that last stitch. So right here, like I'm going right in the exact same hole. So it's called a back stitch because you're to go forward, you're actually kind of going back. So like, again, I'm coming up forward along my line, but I'm making the stitch backwards right into that exact same hole again. So let me know if that makes sense. I can dig into it more. But yeah, so I'm going forward a stitch length when I come up, and then I'm going backwards down through the exact same hole that my last stitch started. And that's your back stitch. This is your back stitch. And I use this in almost every design. I think it gives, again, it's a little hard to tell with this black, but you can kind of tell here. So like it gives, you can see each stitch. So I feel like it gives a row of stitches kind of like a bead like, or like a pearl, like a string of pearls almost look, and where you can see like each little stitch. And I just think that just looks so sweet, and it really just screams embroidery to me when I can see all those little row of little pearly stitches. So to me, that's why I like the back stitch. You can just see every little stitch. I think it's cute. So I use it on almost all my lines. So there's other stitches that I could use for lines instead. Like there's a split stitch, and just all sorts of them. And we'll go over lots of those as we keep stitching these embroidery of the months for sure. But they all just have different looks. So like the split stitch, for example, I think that has more of a organic look, where instead of seeing all these little beady stitches like in the back stitch, you can see, it looks more like a solid line, I think. So, because of a design, you might not want it to look so beady. You might want it to look more solid. You can outline with a chain stitch or a stem stitch, and those just have a different look to them. And I'm definitely going to go over all of these stitches soon. I'm actually working on a sampler, so I want to do like a whole sampler video where we go through all of these different stitches. So I do want to go through all those. But yeah, I can definitely, there's a few more stitches in this design, so I'll definitely show you how to do those. Like we have little like lazy daisy or single chain stitches up here. They're sometimes called detached chain stitches. We got a couple French knots. I think there's like 3 French knots on here. I think that's basically it. We have three different stitches on this one. Ugh, I'm definitely gonna need another piece of black. I might need 2 actually. This one's not gonna get me very far. Oh, good, Linda. Yeah, and I can definitely go over it again, or, if you give it a try and need some more help, feel free to ask in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group, and we can go over it tomorrow, too. Oh, yes, so Robin's asking where the name Penguin and Fish... Yeah, I guess I kind of skipped over that. The Penguin and Fish came from college, so I met John, who's my husband, in college. He pops on here every once in a while, or in, social media land of Penguin and Fish. But we went to college together, but he graduated before me. And so that, pertains to this next part. So I made and I took like a ton of different classes in school. So one of the classes, I took actually several of these classes, animation classes, and an animation I did was called The Penguin and the Fish. And I always really like Aesop's fables and that sort of stuff. This isn't really a fable, but, it has a lot of all those Aesop fables with all the animals in, so I think it kind of relates to that. But anyway, so it's the penguin and the fish, and the penguin and the fish, they fall in love, and then one has to migrate away, and they keep in touch through email. So that's before social media. Email was the only way to digitally communicate. So that was my animation. So loosely based on John and me. So we just kind of took that. That's kind of like our story, basically. So the Penguin and Fish, the company, is kind of an extension of that, really, I suppose. So the characters in the Penguin and Fish logo are the same characters from the movie, like they're the same designs, basically. Except for where I did the animation all in like cut paper. So that was kind of fun. think I have that in my emails sometimes, the actual animation. Oh, Linda's watching the inauguration festivities. Yeah, I think I'm gonna fill my day with it tomorrow because I did not really see anything today and this evening. So I will get it tomorrow. Not live, which is a bummer, but oh well. That's how it goes, I guess. Alright, I'd like to hopefully get towards the end of this row. This is kind of what happened in the last one. I had to get like, I was like racing to get to the end here and was a little shy, and I think I'm going to be in the same position here. But I'm a little bit better, so I'll probably start here with my next piece and come around here and get these last few stitches. So even if I don't get everything in this row that I'm doing right now, it'll be close. Oh, am I the penguin or am I the fish? I am the penguin. John is the fish who had to migrate away. Because he graduated before me. So that's what that was. He's got an apartment, a couple miles away. But still, he's not on campus anymore. Alright. One stitch shy of the whole thing. I can deal with that. Let's weave in the end, and I do have to cut myself another piece of floss because I'm out of black from that first cut. So we got quite a bit done with just that one cut of floss. Oh, I think I'm going to lose my floss. Get in there. Ah, boo. I'm going to have to rethread it. One little bit came out. And now it doesn't want to thread. I'm going to have to cut a nice clean end. That'll work much nicer anyway. I should have put the needle on the needle minder. I'm still trying to get used to using one instead of setting the needle next to me. It's not quite a habit yet, throwing the needle on the needle minder. There we go. I almost did it again. Even as I'm talking about it, I almost set it down next to me. Oh, Kimberly, no, the hedgehog isn't my logo. Let's see, is it on here? No. Oh, the hedgehog was one of my popular kits for a long time. So here's my logo. Here's the penguin and the fish. But yeah, the hedgehog's one of the more popular patterns and kits. Yeah, and then the hedgehogs, that's what's behind me too. Black. So let's grab another. I'm gonna grab a whole another long piece. We'll use it some other time. Actually, maybe should I make it shorter? Ugh, I only want to use one more piece. We're gonna make it a little longer. You should have tons of floss left over from this. Yeah, that I really want to see. I want to see Amanda Gorman read her poem. Yeah, I didn't see any of the music. I didn't see anything. I know I would have loved to watch it all day long. Kimberly, that seems like would have been really nice to see all that. But I'm sure there's on YouTube, there's like full live coverages, replays. So I think I'll just put it on in the morning and get some work done and listen to it all. Okay, I said I was going to start over here and do that. Okay, got it. Got my plan. All right, I'm going to catch that loop again. Oops, I almost pulled it all the way through. Would have had to start over. There we go. All right. I'm going to just do this stitch here, and then I'm going to jump down and do the little feet. So now when this is in a cabinet, you don't see these feet. When it's in a cabinet, the surface is flush with the surface of the bed here. Oop, that's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't always use needle minders is I was always afraid I'd get caught on it, like I just did. Really, what I should be doing is moving it up here, but I'm lazy. I'm just going to leave it there for now. Because up here, it's now going to be kind of out of my way, the needle minder. It's kind of in my way down here right now, but he can stay. Hi, Latanya. Well, I hope it feels like that the second way through too. So, I'm excited for tomorrow to watch everything. Cruising along this bottom little edge. All right, we are going to get this black done and have time to do more, which is great. I did not have time. I remember the first day I didn't have there was so much more black on this because we got all the inside angles. There was just a lot more black to stitch on there, so I wasn't this far on this one as we are tonight, so that's great. We can add some color to this then. Actually, I think I'm probably going to do the silver. Not silver, like it's gray, but in my head it's silver because it's silver on the sewing machine, but I'm going to do the gray next, I think. Just because that feels like I get a lot of the parts done then. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So there are some French knots with the gray, and I usually like to keep my French knots to the end, like some of the final things I stitch, just because I don't want my thread to accidentally catch on it, like how it just caught on my cloud a little bit there. Like I feel like if I have knots on the front, like with French knots, sometimes my thread catches, then I'm like, ugh, dang it. But in this case, it is, since they are gray and I'll be stitching the gray, I'll probably just do them. But when I'm planning my route, sometimes I will do colors that have French knots later. Oh man, I'm gonna just have enough thread with this to, hopefully I might have to do some forward stitches in here too, just to conserve thread, but I think we'll have just enough. Could maybe do the orange next. Let's see, how much time do we have? Yeah, maybe I'll do the orange instead. Then we can get some color on here. And then we can leave all the fancy stitches to tomorrow. Why don't we do that? So I'm going to stitch the orange, which is this love, and then we have just like the little topper and the top and bottom of the spool of thread here. That's orange in this one. So that's still all just like back stitch. So maybe I'll just stick with the back stitch tonight, and then tomorrow we'll look at the different kinds of stitches I have in here. So we have some single chain stitches, or also like called lazy daisy stitches, and the French knots. All these little dots here are French knots. So that might be good to start fresh with those different stitches tomorrow. That'll be good. Yeah, and we'll do this orange, and I think we might even have time to finish up the orange. All right, one last little stitch here. And black is done. I had plenty of thread. I thought I was going to have a little less. All right, black is done. Doesn't look like we did much because it looks just like our black outline, but feels good to have a big part of it done. So I'm just weaving in the end. I'm weaving it back and forth 3 times. I like doing this method versus just tying a knot on the back. I think this is a little bit more secure, and then I have like that flat, there's no bumps on here, like there's no knots that anything could get stuck on. It's just a nice flat surface of stitches. Oop, little cloud. All right, now you gotta move though, cloud, if I'm gonna be stitching down there. These magnets are so strong, even though they're like itty bitty, that I kind of feel like they're gonna injure me a little bit. And they're so little, they're kind of hard to move around. But there we go. You're up there now, cloud. All right, next up, why don't we stitch this love, and then we'll get those 2 little points there. Okay, again, we did have a piece of this cut from yesterday when we did the heart and the little spool. So I'm just going to pull my single strand from here. This is my favorite way to separate floss. You just kind of isolate one strand. This doesn't work if you try and do more than one strand. It only works with one. So I'm just going to pull on that. It looks like it's going to crazy knot in the back, but once you pull it all the way through, it just kind of releases. You can run your hand through it. It's all just nice and good to go again. So we'll set that aside, and this piece I'm going to fold in half. We're doing the loop method again of doing the floss. All right. And all right, I think I'm going to just go as you would write it here. And probably maybe I do just jump back to the O, trying to kind of map it out. Yeah, let's just start. Oh, I almost pulled it all the way through. Forgot about the loop. All right. Ooh, and I got a crazy mess back here. All right, get it through that loop. There. Oh, this is really pretty. Look how bright it is. It is a bright, bright orange. This is a fun orange. So you can stitch this with whatever color you want. I thought these were all kind of fun together, these colors. But if you wanted to do more pinks or reds or whatever, do whatever you want. We talked about metallic floss a little bit yesterday. This would be really fun, all stitched in metallic floss, like the whole thing, just shiny metallic floss. It would be a bear, like how we were talking. It's not the easiest stuff to stitch with, but with the right thread, it can look really cute and shiny and pretty. Ooh, Christy says I stitched it on a royal blue t-shirt and replaced the black with white. Ooh, that sounds really pretty. That sounds so pretty. Yeah, I made that. We have those actually. If you check out the Embroidery of the Month page, we did some t-shirts with these guys on too, because I thought they were really cute. And this one we did on a black t-shirt with this outlined in white, and I thought that looked really kind of neat too. So it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't have to be in the black. Like, the white actually looks kind of nice. Actually, I kind of want to stitch on the t-shirt along the lines a little bit. Like, I think it'd be fun to actually add some embroidery to the t-shirt. Like maybe the thread or something. That would be kind of fun. Yeah, I'm going to run out of this orange pretty quick too. Lots of little stitches when you're making all these loops and a bunch of little lines everywhere. Feel kind of messy on the back. Okay, good, no. Like, I'm paranoid now because I got like a big loop on the back of my other one. And it was feeling kind of bulky here for a second, but I think I'm just paranoid. I always have my left hand on the back of my stitches while I stitch, and then you can kind of feel, like, even when I put the needle in, I kind of put it in with my hand right there. I can feel the needle come through. I can actually feel the thread, like my fingers right here feeling the thread. I always kind of have and now it's actually pushing the thread out of the way, so I have a clean place to do my next stitch. So my thread's not looping around itself. I'm pushing it out of the way and then making my next stitch. And then I'm still feeling, like, sometimes I'll have my finger here so I can feel both of it. Oftentimes it'll loop around my finger, and that'll be my last little bit. All of those little motions, and you just get kind of used to doing it. All those little motions, I can definitely tell, well, for the most part, I guess, if something's wrong. So you can feel if there's a loopy knot or something, and I can catch it faster than if I'm not feeling the stitches as I stitch. Alright, now I'm going to jump on over here to this. Oh, I suppose. Just go in order. I guess that wasn't that big of a jump. This will definitely take more than one round of this floss. But we might be able to do what we did with this one. Like, the second strand that I use, the second piece of floss, because I don't think this is going to get me much further. I'll probably have a lot left of that, and then I can just weave in the ends and do these two little stitches quick with the same thread. I won't be able to do the loop method because we'll have lost our loop. But we can do my normal way of starting, which is weaving in the ends and then doing our stitches and then weaving in the other ends. Oh, that's true. Oh, that's true, Linda. You're right. I'll do that. If my thread is long enough that I feel like I can fold it in half again, like if I had to stop here and then I take one of these strands and fold it in half, if I feel like it's long enough to fold in half and maneuver the needle still and get both of these stitches, then yeah, I think you're right. I will do the loop method again. I'll just take the one thread and fold that in half. I think that wasn't even on my mind because I don't think I had enough to do that for this one, so it just didn't even occur to me. So that's a good reminder. I will do that if there's enough. Good idea. I like doing these lives. I mean, I've been doing these lives every night for several years now, but I think it'll be, I was just thinking about like today, you know, like days with big events and like this will be like an interesting history some time to just kind of zip through, you know, videos from several years ago and just kind of hear what was happening. I'd be like, oh man, yeah, that's when that happened. It's just kind of neat. It'll be like a little diary. Of like what we were all thinking and talking about. Oh man, this is going to be annoying if I can't get this letter E done. I might not make it. Ugh. Oh well. I'm definitely still going to, like, this would not be enough thread to fold in half and use at the top, but I think I'm going to have like 3 stitches left, which is fine. I'm going to have to start another piece of thread for that top bit anyway. So if we don't finish it, this E, that's okay. Good night, Kimberly. So if I'm talking, just like as a general, like if anyone's new here tonight, if I seem like I'm talking, like answering a question that you don't see, I'm live both on YouTube and Facebook, so you can choose whichever place you want. So I might be answering a question from over yonder. I think I'm literally going to have like 3 stitches left. It seems like I have a little bit more thread, but I don't know, it's short, like, so I got it like caught up somewhere. Maybe, or I just didn't start them at the same width. I don't know. Ooh, maybe I can do it. Maybe I can get all 3. I'm going to go for it. Oh yeah, I think I can do it. Yay, I think I'll have just enough. I will still have to start that next piece of thread, which is a bummer, but I don't have to, I can take a smaller piece. Yay, we did it. We are doing well with the thread chicken tonight. That's always fun. Pretty! Oh, I'm glad we got some color in it. Ooh, and we are just going to finish this orange right on time. So this is a good call, I think. Relaxing, doing the orange, and then tomorrow we'll dig into some of these other stitches. We'll do the French knot and we'll do like the lazy daisy stitch, so we can walk through those processes too. We'll definitely have time. All right. Snip. Okay, I have just that tiny little 2 little lines. Just the bottom and the top of the spool is all that's left of that orange. There we go. So I just need enough for that, so barely anything. I think I'll take, well, actually, we won't need this at all anymore for tonight, will we? So I'll just take the whole strand out, I guess. All right, so folding in half, I'm probably only going to need, you know, barely this much. So let's just snip this. I'll have this longer strand for some other time, I guess, some other project. Won't need it for this. Actually, we might use it on the back to finish the back. Maybe I think we'll have time on Friday. We could try and make a cute back or something. Oh, and we talked about putting the dates in. Ooh, the dates would be really pretty in this orange. I think I might do that. So on Friday, we'll come back and do the dates. Let's see, do I want to do 2 stitches for this? I think probably just one long one. All right, so I'm going to grab that loop. Now, this is going to be kind of weird. I think I'm going to, well, yeah, I don't know. Let's just get this second stitch. And then I'm going to jump back and I'm going to weave in the ends of these black stitches. Ooh, Jocelyn says on YouTube, I really like that little machine. I would put it on a black shirt and with gold thread. That would be so fun. Like some gold thread. I love that. Ugh, man, we've been talking a lot about these metallic threads lately. I wanna grab mine. Maybe I'll try and I'll go grab mine at some point this week. So since we've just been talking about it, I can kind of show you again the brand that I like, the kind that I like, because it's tough to stitch with and some of it's just kind of meh looking, but this particular kind that I like for metallic thread, it's so beautiful. I was reading the word January and then my word beautiful stopped and turned into beauty. Sally, I think I'm going to have the shirts up, so I might actually make a shop section, or actually just a shop just for shirts and stuff at some point. But I think the embroidery of the month, that will go away at the end of January. So this is January's embroidery of the month. And I think I'll keep the shirts though. The shirts, we'll make a new like t-shirt and mug section or something, and we'll keep those. All right, so I think that it will be it for the night. This is a good stopping point. I am really happy we got some color on here tonight. That's looking just like really cute. So again, tomorrow we'll focus on these Lazy Daisies stitches. Those are, different than the back stitch, so that'll be another stitch. And then the third stitch in this one is the French knot. So that we got a couple little French knots there. And we can talk about like the couple things that you might be doing wrong with your French knot that might be holding you up. I know there's a 3 things in particular. If you've been with me here before, I do talk about these 3 things every time we do French knots. Because I'm telling you, if you're having trouble with French knots, I bet you it's because of one of these 3 things. So we'll go over that. And then the last stitch we did was this satin stitch. So we did that last night. So if you wanted to check out how to do the satin stitch, make these little pretty satiny filled in shapes, that was yesterday. So all right, you guys, there we are. I think we did pretty well on that tonight. Actually, a lot farther than I thought, especially getting all that black done in a whole nother color. I think we're going to actually finish these probably... Yeah, I was thinking we might have to do some stitching on Friday yet, but we might actually get this far enough that we could put the dates on tomorrow. That would be kind of fun. I'd like to do that. I'll have to get that information on this one. I think this was 1927, but I did contact Singer at some point. Someone said that they contacted Singer and they said that they don't look up the dates anymore. So I'll look. This was like several years ago, so I'll look to see how I did that. I thought they had like an email for it, but maybe they don't have that service anymore. I'm not sure, but I'll dig into it. Just if you really are searching for information on your particular machine, I definitely recommend joining a Facebook group that talks about that machine. You'd be surprised how many super specific sewing related groups there are. Like I'm on one for vintage Kenmore sewing machines, and I found some information from that group. A lot of those people are really knowledgeable, so that would be a way to get more direction on where to go. But I'm going to see if I can find out the place to contact at Singer, where you just tell them your serial number, and then they will tell you when it was born, at what factory, and what date, and all that. So I did write that information down for mine, so I'll go check that out so we get the exact right date on here. So awesome, you guys. Thanks again. These bundles are available still, and they're available as PDF patterns. You'll get the PDF pattern with, if you buy it on its own or with the bundle. The bundle comes with it. So regardless, even if you don't get it shipped by this week, you'll have the PDF pattern, so you can start stitching on, whatever you want then. So thanks, guys. And a reminder, I got those 2 new floss packs. I got the Jewel Tone and the Pantone, the color of the year for 2021. I'm excited for these guys. I think they're just so sweet. They're just like really just poppy, nice color palettes. So that's over at penguinandfish.com. We just got that up a couple hours ago. So thanks, you guys. I will see you tomorrow, and have a great evening. Good night.